Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Welcome to the Local Lowdown and find out what's happening in Lavaca County, Texas. Now here are your hosts, Murray and Michelle.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm not even going to dare tell you what time of day it is. Okay, I will. It's almost 9 p.m.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free. Select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. One-coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 8/21 through 9/3.
I tried to make this recording a little earlier in the day, but in true form, this was a crazy day, which is why Murray and I will not be doing this podcast together. But here I am, and this is Michelle with you on the Local Lowdown. Did I do good, Murray? I hope so. Anyway, I'm excited to still be able to give you a little bit of a recap of the week and the news for the Hallettsville Tribune-Herald, the Yoakum Herald-Times, the Moulton Eagle, the Shiner Gazette, and a little bit about the Luling Newsboy. Those are our 5 papers that we do publish out of the Hallettsville Tribune-Herald office. There are offices, if you ever wonder, in Hallettsville and Yoakum and Shiner. We are all connected, but those are the places that you can physically go. And then Moulton and Luling, everything is done out of the Hallettsville office. So we are a pretty big publishing company. We are also sister companies to the Giddings paper. And so we have one big paper family, and we work really hard to do our best to get the news to you every week. So Murray and I, we had planned to do this at 9 o'clock this morning, but I had an unexpected meeting come up, and we just had a crazy week. And I think the whole solar eclipse maybe got us. Now, speaking of the solar eclipse, I'm not sure that any of us in the Lavaca County area got to see much. It was a pretty rainy, foggy, dreary day. Henry, Joe, and I did go outside. Henry was the only one I could convince to go outside with me to try to find it. And we looked everywhere and couldn't find any sun. So we had to go back in and be disappointed. Now, Henry's not sure. It is going to be 20 years, of course, before the next solar eclipse, which will make Henry 106. So at that point, so he's not sure that he's going to be running out as fast as he did this time. But we're both going to have to wait, I guess, 20 more years before we get to see the next one. I have seen some great pictures, though, so some people did get to enjoy it. I know it did get a little dark, and in the Hallettsville newspaper office, we have tinted windows, so it got a little like nighttime, so it helped increase the atmosphere of the solar eclipse. But like I said, we didn't get to enjoy it much. Kind of sad, kind of not. Because now we just get to look forward to the other one. And I actually saw the partial one back in, I think it was October, and it was cool. All things like that in nature just kind of amaze me, and it's kind of all inspiring to the world we live in, how the world actually works. So, for those of you that got to enjoy it, I'm happy for you. It helped me bring a joke in. Some of us laughed, some of us didn't, but I said, in Hallettsville, we saw a totality. We totally didn't see anything. And I thought it was a fun joke. Not that many people laughed, but I hope I just made you laugh. So that was the start of the week, kind of with the solar eclipse. Let's see what else we did. We put out some papers, and in those papers, you're going to find the week that we're covering, the week of April 10th and 11th. And it's kind of like we're in the middle of the month. We're in the middle of celebrating recognizing some different things. It is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so there is a picture, I know, on a couple of the front pages of our newspapers. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sitting in my car because if I went in my house, either my kid or my dog would definitely interrupt this podcast. So I'm in my car, talking to myself, and it's dark, thankfully, so no one will think I'm really crazy. But I also am not looking at newspapers. I'm a little scared to go on the internet on my phone because I don't want the podcast to stop, because this is my second time trying to record this. So this is all going to be going off of memory, and so you may not get a whole lot in-depth review of the papers, but you're going to get me talking because I love to talk anyway. So as I was saying, I know that picture Jimmy Apple took of a bunch of people that are honoring and recognizing Child Abuse Month. We also, of course, have Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month going on, and I know there's going to be a great article coming up. Hopefully it'll make most of our papers this next week, again with autism. Luling had an amazing article about their autism walk that Nicole attended and did, and of course Nicole is our writer in Luling. Hey, Nicole. And then she really does an amazing job, and she's amazing to work with. I can't say more amazing things about her, except that I would love for her to move to the Houtsville office and work with us every day, because I know we would have so much fun. But anyway, what else was going on this week? I know that tax day happened for a lot of people, and if you were like me, you shed some tears while paying Uncle Sam. And so Jimmy talks about tax day and how it came about and the long history it has as to why it happens on April the 15th. So that is a great article that's made, I think, most of the newspapers as well. We have Fiddler's Frolic coming up. We'll have a Fiddler's Frolic insert in next week's paper. So Fiddler's Frolic is a long-standing tradition and festival in the town of Hallettsville. This year, one of the headliners, of course, is Diamond Rio, which is a great band. Been around a long time, but great music still going on. And it's exciting to see them come to this event. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of fiddling going on. And so, I don't know, fiddling just kind of is one of those things that I could just watch and be in awe for hours because it's pretty amazing. So the next week, like I said, there'll be an insert. It'll tell you more about Mr. Henneke's history lesson he gave Bobby on fiddlers and how it came to be and founders. And there's Hall of Famers listed in there and all of that. So it's a really great history lesson on fiddlers. And you'll also have see what's going to be going on. The Fiddler event is actually the weekend of April 26th through the 28th. So it's the last weekend in April. So that is a big thing coming up in Hallettsville. In Moulton, another big thing, Moulton and Hallettsville just had their prom, and I know Murray featured a prom picture on his front page. So that's exciting. I'm not sure if it was their king or queen or what the picture was of. I'm sorry, I'd have to look back, but I hope that those kids enjoyed, for some of them, their last prom, for some of them, maybe their first prom. But I think that's going to close out most of prom season in the area. So that's pretty exciting because we're getting closer to graduation. And speaking of graduation, we'll be doing special graduation sections. So if you want to honor your senior, make sure that you contact us, and we will be happy to get an ad made up for you. And that will go in our special graduation section, which is a great memory keeper for your senior. It'll have all their classmates and graduation date and a bunch of congratulatory ads from different advertisers. So why not congratulate your senior in a special way in print? So that's fun. You can call any of our newspaper offices, or you could just call us here in Hallettsville at 361-798 2481. So that's my little sales pitch. I don't sell much, actually. I'm not very good at it, because when someone tells me no, I'm like, oh gosh, and it makes me really sad. So if I sold you an ad, I'm very excited right now. So what else is going on in Lavaca County? Well, Murray Montgomery, my partner in crime here, wrote a story that there was going to be a 5-story hotel, or there was plans for that to be in Yoakum, Texas. Of course, I don't see any 5-story buildings in Yoakum. So did those plans ever become a reality? You're going to have to read Murray's article and find out a little bit more on that. And that has made most of our newspapers as well. In addition to Autism Awareness Month, Child Abuse Prevention Month, it is also National Library Week, or Library Appreciation Week, I guess is what you would call it. And so on the front page of the Shiner paper is the Shiner Royal Court honoring their local library with some donations of books. I do want to recognize that we have some great libraries in Lavaca County. I'm not sure if Luling has a library. Maybe Nicole can inform me on that. But your local libraries are very important. I know the Shiner Library does a summer reading program, which is great for all the kids. An amazing event. Brings in a lot of different things, from magicians to snakes to all kinds of things. The Yoakum Library is always having events. I had actually recently talked to one of my friends who said that you could check out like homeschool kits from the Yoakum Library. That is an amazing resource for when she was homeschooling her kids. And I know they had the Lego event recently, and the Houtsel Library, of course, we use it still. Without the Houtsel Library, our 50 years ago column by Chuck Groff would not exist. Plus, of course, it's a great resource for our kids, and they have events as well. I know during the summer they have a program also. So, our libraries are important. I know that you think you can find a lot on Google, but you can't find everything. And just the nostalgia of going into a library and picking up a book or checking one out is something you definitely need to partake in and put in your kid's life. That's my little PSA on that. So happy Library Week to all the librarians and our local libraries. So moving on, of course, sports is happening. We know spring is busy. District softball and baseball will be coming to an end, and playoffs will be starting school. I think most schools have 1 to 2 weeks left. Track is at their area part of track, so it's advancing to different parts of the off from the regular meets to being able to make their way to state, basically. So best of luck to them as well. So Mark Luby, Chuck Groff, and I think his name is Michael, and I'm not very sure on that, so please don't quote me, and please don't be mad at me if I'm wrong. But in Luling, him and Nicole, you can check out, they've done a great job of covering all those sports, because like we always say, spring is so busy. Junior high tennis is starting. I know that. Golf is still happening. So guys, just check all of that out. And if you see one of your sports writers, thank them for their hard work during this time of year, because they are pretty busy people. Okay, so I think that's going to cover a lot of what's going on in this week's papers. You're just going to have to read a little bit more and look a little bit harder. I know there's some VFW scholarship winners, so scholarship winners are going to start to be published. If you want those published, please contact us, and we will get that in the paper as well. And congrats to those kids. I know that it's an exciting time in all of their lives when they're fixing to move on to trade schools, vocational schools, colleges, the workforce. They're fixing to start a new chapter in their life, and it's a very exciting one, whatever direction that leads them. So congrats to all of them who have won. I know that was our first scholarship announcement that I know of. So definitely that. School boards, will be reporting on those in the next week. Of course, they're all making changes for their 2024-25 school years, with different things being approved. So look for that. Some exciting things going on in our local schools. I know Clayton Kelly is currently reporting on some, so be on the lookout for next week's paper on that. Also in next week's paper, Henry, Joe, and I are working on something that's quite interesting. It's, what do you call that last meal of the day you're having? And is it dinner? Is it supper? Is it lunch? Is it snack? But usually the debate is between dinner and supper. Now, Chuck Groff, on occasion, he says something and it really triggers like, oh, that was kind of a remarkable thought. And he said, well, it wasn't the last dinner that Jesus had. It was the Last Supper. So does that mean we should call it supper? Well, Henry Joe did some more research on that, and he has an article going in the paper. But I will post on Local Lowdown the question, do you call it dinner or supper? And why do you think you make that choice as a family or as a person? And if you don't see me post on there to post back, you can just go on our Local Lowdown page, or you can send me an email or a text or anything like that, and I will be happy to talk about it more next week. So Murray and I will talk about it, because I don't even know that I've brought this up to Murray yet, so this could be like news and shocking to him. It won't be so shocking, because I always have weird questions I want answered about life. So this is just kind of one of those other Michelle moments. They always kind of make fun of me because they say my brain is moving way faster than probably anything else, but there's like so much going on that I can't even like get it all together, and I need to slow down, but I can't slow down. It's just not who I am. So this is my thought of the week. Henry is probably the only one that loves me enough to hang in there with me and help me do this. That's not true. They all put in an effort, but Henry had the most time this week, so he was happy to work on that. He also, I think we're going to talk about like check words for it and all of that. We have a bunch of check stuff we're going to be doing, because my grandparents, when I grew up, we grew up in both sides of my dad's parents and my mom's parents. Both spoke Czech, and so did my aunt and uncle on both sides, who were quite a bit 8 to 10 years older than my mom and dad. So there was a huge age gap, which is kind of odd. They both had that in their families, but they all spoke Czech as well. So a lot of times that was the only thing that was being spoken at family events, because it was like their time to get together and bring back that culture, which was really cool, except that a lot of times I didn't know what they were saying. And then, as I told Ani, our office manager, when we were talking about this the other day, I knew that teeth were zuby because my grandmother started suffering from Alzheimer's and she had false teeth. And so I had to learn the word because she was always looking for it. And if you know anything about living with someone with Alzheimer's, the distraught look on their face when they can't find something and it's very important to them, and how worried they are, is just terrifying, because you want to help them so much. And so it was even harder when I didn't understand what she was saying. But over time, she asked for it so much that I did learn what it was. And so that's where I learned a lot of my Czech. And I'm actually going to look into also a lullaby that my grandma I know used to sing to me as a child. And I think it was something crazy about like a cat stealing milk or something. But I'm going to try to do a little research on that. So I have a lot of fun projects coming up. If there's anything you guys want me to talk about, I love talking. So I will talk about whatever. Murray may join in. No, I'm kidding. Murray will talk about it too. Murray and I can probably talk for hours to each other without even taking a breath. That's just who we are, and it's really fun. The unfortunate part is that on Monday and Tuesdays, Murray and I have to work pretty hard at our actual newspaper job part of this gig. So we don't get to talk a lot. So that's probably why y'all get these long podcasts, because then we're overly talking everything. I do want to apologize since I don't have the obituaries in front of me. I'm not going to be going through each individual obituary. They are going to be posted on our Facebook page. Of course, they're all not Facebook page, online on our LavacaCountyToday.com page. And those are free to view. Like, you don't have to have a subscription to view them. We also, of course, have them in all of our newspapers. And our seriously deep condolences to their families, those who lost. We know how hard it is to lose a loved one. I also want to extend my personal condolences to the Carlos Alvarez family. Mr. Alvarez was the owner of K. Spetzel Brewery. He bought them in I'm not sure the exact date. I used to know that because I was a tour guide there, but I can't remember the exact date. But somewhere in the 1990s, maybe 91. No, maybe sooner than that. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. But Mr. Alvarez and his company, the Gambrinus Company, took over ownership of the Spetzel Brewery, which took it basically from a failing brewery to a very successful independent craft brewery. It's the largest in the state of Texas now. I got the chance to meet Mr. Alvarez, I'm going to say probably 4 times. He didn't come down a whole lot, but when he did, he's just such a family man. And I did tell someone today, and this is the best way that I could describe him, is he did talk a lot of beer talk, because not only did, yes, the beer made him money. I'm not going to say it didn't, but the beer was what he lived for. Like, he really enjoyed the process of beer making. He enjoyed the taste of beer, the different tastes, what made it taste that way. And he loved to talk to you about it. And so he was just a very down to earth, kind man, with big dreams. He came from little to nothing and made himself very successful. He then, I guess, to me, returned the favor by taking the brewery from a little brewery to something very successful. And he is survived, I know, by his wife, his 2 daughters, his son-in-law, and his 2 grandchildren, and I'm sure numerous family members. Also, of course, every employee at the K. Spetzel Brewery. The other brewery he owned was Trumer Pills. And so that organization, the Gambrinus Company, and then all of his philanthropy projects, which were tons that he did in San Antonio. So a great man, a huge loss, and again, condolences to his family on such a tragic loss. So I'm about 100% sure. I'm not sure that it will make it in next week's paper, a full article, but there will be one coming soon. The other exciting news, where I was even this morning, if you're wondering, is I was waiting to receive the new and improved and redone Shiner Royalty Float. I did tell y'all that we had sent this off for remodeling a couple of months ago, and it is now back in its glory, in better glory than it ever was, and we're excited to show that off, and we will be showing it off at the world's largest lighted parade in San Antonio at Fiesta Flambeau in just a few weeks. It'll be April 27th. It is televised. I think it's on Ken's 5, but I will get y'all more information on that. But we're excited, and I want to send a big shout out to the lovely and wonderful community of Shiner that had supported us and helped fund the project through fundraisers and all of that. It made our dreams a reality, and the kids are going to be super excited to see it, ride on it, and represent Shiner even more now. So that's great. We've also opened up registration for the 2024 Shiner Royalty Court and the pageant. The pageant will be on July 27th, which is a Thursday. And so there's dates listed for different practices and important date information all on our website, on the flyer. You can also go to halfmoonholidays.com, look it up. The pageant information is there. Forms are due May 30th. I am probably going to try my best to convince Murray to let me do a podcast of just the kids talking about how wonderful the experience is, the parents talking about how wonderful the experience is, me talking about how wonderful the experience is for your kids, what they learn, what they gain out of it. The scholarship amounts have increased. We're doing everything we can to recognize their hard work, as these kids work really hard and have given so much back to the community of Shiner. So we're excited to crown a new court on June 26th. Half Moon Holidays will soon follow that first weekend in July. So that's what I'll be working on my free time outside of my regular job. And like I said, I tried so hard to record this earlier while in between dropping my child off at softball and waiting for her game to start. That didn't work well. So here I am at 9:00 at night talking to you guys, but I wouldn't have it any other way because I wouldn't want to miss talking to you this week. I do miss Murray. I feel that our camaraderie and combativism, that's probably not a word, with each other adds a little fun. But we didn't get to do it yet. We also forgot to have hamburgers this week, which was something I promised that we would do. So next week we're having some hamburgers to try. But a lot of that reason came because we were so lucky that Mr. Albert Posey made us chicken and rice on Tuesdays. You guys have to understand that Tuesdays for us are like, I don't even know that I can explain it, but sometimes you don't know if you've eaten, if you've went to the bathroom in hours, if you've even had a thought outside of paper layout or anything like that, if you've talked to anyone. It's just so hard to even comprehend what you're doing because you're trying so hard, because we really do basically have 1 to 2 days to put together each of these papers. And I know that, we have a lot of people come in, and we respect and understand your concerns for mistakes being made or something being omitted or anything that is wrong. We do not want to do that. And we are trying to eliminate how that's happening, how we can better serve you guys and get you the correct information as quickly as possible, get you the most local news as quickly as possible. And I promise you, we have a team that is working really, really hard on that right now. Bear with us, help us. Please send us all your local news and we will do our best to get it in. We're excited to be serving you. I'm excited to be laying out the Hallettsville newspaper. If you don't know what laying out means, that's all we talked about a few weeks ago about being paginators. And it's basically, we start with a blank page and we make sure that all the news gets in, how it's put in, all the stories, all the pictures, all the artwork. And it's like a big puzzle, and I am having the best time learning it, putting it together. Please bear with me. There's going to be bumps in the road, and all I can say is know that I don't like mistakes, and I am doing everything I can to eliminate as many as possible every week. So I think I'm getting better. I am trying. Again, it's a lot of process. The computer has to work with you as much as your brain, and sometimes those two things are not best friends, and they're fighting each other, and it's crazy, and life gets crazy. But know that we love, or I know Murray loves to do what we do. We take a huge amount of pride in it. And Murray and I together talk a lot about how we can make things better and what we're doing. So we're getting there, guys. We've changed a lot of stuff and we're working hard. We've heard your concerns about fonts being too small. I've tried to change that. If you still can't read it, let me know and I will see if I can go to a more simpler font. I promise you, I am trying to get the best paper out there I can, and I will continue to do that. And I love what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. And I love small towns. I'm going to say that I don't know if at any week it's hit me harder than this week how proud I am to be from the small community of Shiner and then to be part of Lavaca County. It's just an amazing feeling to know that here we have each other's back. We work hard for each other. We support each other. Many people suffer losses, or recently I know that a family in Schulenburg had lost their house to a fire, and also one in Flatonia. And as much as I knew the family in Schulenburg and it totally broke my heart, I was so humbled by the fact that Flatonia and Schulenburg used their profits from their softball and baseball games to help these families. That's what community is about. That's what living in a small town is about. It's having each other's back and taking care of each other. And that's what we want to not only put in our newspapers, but we want to inform people of what's going on, from scams to crime to anything that could help each other. But we also want to acknowledge the people that are already out there giving each other that helping hand and pats on the back and all of that. And fundraisers are amazing. And what's a better opportunity also to get a meal cooked for you than all of these meal fundraisers that we have in our area that are really good, and you're supporting a great cause. So we just are a lot, and everyone comes through for each other, and I I guess I'm just astonished that what we may be small, but what we do is on such a large scale to help others, that it's humbling. And I'm glad that I get to be here. I'm glad that I get to raise my family here, and I'm very proud of it. And because I'm proud of it, I'm proud to put out a great product for you guys every week in our newspaper line. And we're going to continue to work hard to improve. So that was my tangent. Murray's going to say, my goodness, Michelle, I told you to make this short. Well, Murray, I talked for 28 minutes all by myself. So by the time I say my goodbyes, it'll probably be 30. And you're probably going to be like, holy cow. But either way, I hope you guys have listened. I can't talk short. It just must not be in me. But I will try to do better. If you want to hear shorter clips, maybe I'll do more of these. And I'll talk by myself, and then Murray and I will talk, or something crazy. I don't know. But we're going to keep doing these podcasts because I want you to hear our side. I want you to hear what we think. I want to hear what you think, which is why we're trying to engage you a little bit more on our Facebook page. I would love for you to call in, write in, do whatever. But the most important thing is there's plenty of events going on in our small towns. Support our local communities. Shop local. Put your ads out there. Help us help you. That's exciting to us when we put something in our paper and it helps get the word out and get that support for someone. So do that. Shiner Firemen, Volunteer Firemen's barbecues this week. We talked about it last week. If you get a chance, go support them this weekend. If you don't go there, whatever you do, have the best time. Be safe and take care. Until next time, this is Michelle. I miss you, Murray.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.